Let's talk about another military-related story, which will get us into some politics. The Republican Party and American conservatives love to talk about how much they love the military. We know that, Lewis.
Yes.
It could be their flag pins. It could be the bumper stickers. It could be singing songs. It could be anything. Republicans want to be known as the party that supports the military. However, when we actually look at, and we've talked about this before, loving the military by not sending troops into harm's way for pointless war, when we look into not paying troops properly, when we look into not providing adequate health care when they return from deployments, or providing good access to mental health counselors, etc., Republicans really seem to fall short. And they're going to fall short in one other place, which is that it appears that House Republicans are likely going to block abortion coverage for raped female soldiers, okay? With their love of the military, I don't understand how they could possibly do this. There's an additional measure to the 2013 Defense Authorization Bill crafted by Senator Jeanne Shaheen, Democrat from New Hampshire, which would expand access to abortion to military women who have been raped, okay? Makes perfect sense. Legal medical procedure, a procedure without safe access. You could end up pursuing some kind of, back alley abortion, having a child in a situation where it really doesn't make sense, ruining a child's life as well, okay? And the amendment does have some bipartisan support in the Senate. I mean, John McCain and Scott Brown, Republicans, support it. Susan Collins, Republican from Maine, supports it. But it is basically expected to fail once it is opened up to the broader Republican vote. And under current law, if a military woman becomes pregnant, she has to pay out of pocket for an abortion. So the new bill would allow that service member to use their military health insurance to cover the procedure. The religious nuts are going absolutely crazy. However, wait a second, it's the military. It's not a religious organization, is it? Well, we found out that actually, in some ways, many of those who are involved in the training do push religious dogma onto a lot of the troops. They shouldn't, and it shouldn't be a religious organization. And, I mean, let's be honest, is forcing a female who's serving her country in the military to bear her rapist child, is that the Christian thing to do, to answer all of the claims from the religious right about why this shouldn't be allowed? That doesn't sound very Christian to me.
Yeah. And there is the religious component. I mean, there are, well, like the chaplain we talked to, Gordon Klingenschmidt. I mean, there are military appointed chaplains, and they are of one faith. And what is that faith?
Well, it happens to be typically some kind of evangelical Christianity.
There it is.
Rape against women in the military is nothing new. Huffington Post reported in 2008 that women are actually more likely to be raped by a fellow soldier serving in the military than they are to be killed by enemy fire during the primary deployment in Iraq. That's really remarkable, Lewis.
Pretty crazy.
One note on that, just as a result of Don't Ask, Don't Tell being repealed, now it doesn't happen that women who are raped can then be accused by, women who are assaulted but not raped because they say no and are able to get away. Now it can't happen that the male soldier can then say that they're a lesbian or something like that, because that actually used to happen before.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So that's yet another positive aspect of that Don't Ask, Don't Tell repeal.